What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In this video we are kind of going to be discussing the new Nissan Z and what I think about it, because I want to give a Mark 5 Supra owner's perspective on the new car. So I've got the articles pulled up over here to the left of me. I got my coffee and let's discuss. So I'm going to try not to be too biased in this. I do think the new Nissan Z is a pretty cool car. I think it looks good. I don't think it's over the top. I don't think it's too understated, but I think it looks good. I'm afraid though in a few years it might be a little bland and kind of blend in like the Q60 does. The car is going to have the VR30 twin turbo with a 6-speed manual or 9-speed automatic sourced from Mercedes. And it's going to start right around $40,000. Everyone knows the car is going to have about 400 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque. Now let's talk about that, because a lot of people see that number and I think it's deceiving. They don't realize that that's probably at the crank. This car is probably putting down closer to 330, 340 wheel horsepower on the dyno. Now when we compare that to the Supra is stated at 382 horsepower from factory. That's what the Supra puts down at the wheels, basically, like 370 to 390 depending on the weather and stuff. If we look at the crank of the Supra, it's probably more like 440, 450. I'd have to run those numbers. I think the Nissan Z is going to be a good buy if you are looking for specifically a manual high horsepower car. Now, with this engine, I've done a lot of research, and from talking to friends with Q60s, basically if you want to make over 500 wheel horsepower, you're gonna have to upgrade the turbos. And the reason why I bring that up is because I think that's a pretty hefty bill to do that on these engines. I think you're looking at probably at least $7,500 to make over. You're probably looking at closer to 10. I'm not sure what these transmissions can hold, but if you want to make over 500 wheel horsepower now, I know I'm talking about horsepower, and this car's probably, there are going to be people coming from the Q60 getting this car that want to make big horsepower numbers, and I think that's awesome. I think that'll be great. I know AMS has a lot of aftermarket performance parts for these cars. But in my opinion, I think if you want to make high horsepower, you should go B58 Supra. If you want something a little bit more fun, connected to the road, you should go Nissan Z manual. Keep it lightly modded, maybe get like 450 wheel horsepower, 400 to 450 wheel horsepower, manual, lowering springs, tires, exhaust, go that route. That's what I would do, honestly. So anyway, I think the exterior looks good. Looking at the interior, we'll throw a couple pictures up. The blue is the different colors is pretty cool, honestly. It's a little aggressive for my taste, but I think it is cool that you have options like the new C8 Corvette does. I'm a little bit jealous of the seats in the Nissan Z. I wish the Supra did have better sport bucket seats like the Nissan Z does. So I am definitely jealous of that. There's going to be a couple different trims. There's going to be, your base trim, a performance trim. Performance trim will get 19-inch wheels, raised wheels from factory, which is pretty cool. Probably Brembo brakes, a 9-inch infotainment screen, which I'm not really sure why they didn't just do one, size infotainment screen in all the cars. I think it's just more of a hassle to swap them out than just to put them in everything. Looking at the pictures, I think it's going to be very cool. I can't wait to see them on the street. We'll definitely have to wait and see what the aftermarket can do for it. I know there's already a lot of aftermarket, available for the Q60 and for this engine, but we'll see if Nissan tweak turbos, tweak the heat exchanger a little bit for better cooling. The next thing I want to talk about though is, will it kill the Supra? That's hard to say. I think that this car will sell more than the Supra, and that is due to just basically the price, the price and the manual. I think that's going to get a lot of people over from not just the Supra, but Mustang GT, Camaro SS, people that maybe are looking at, C6, C7 Corvette and used. I think a lot of people that are maybe looking at WRX STIs, although they do have the back seats and everything. But I think that's where this car is gonna kind of suck all those sales from. The Supra doesn't really sell well anyway. I think there's probably only like 12,000 of them right now. I think they sell about 5,000 a year. That could go up. I'm not sure. I looked at the numbers a few months ago, but that's kind of where it was at then. Also, one thing that we'll have to wait and see about the Nissan Z is if it's going to have a tunable ECU. because that is the biggest thing right now with the Supra is the 2021s, depending on the date of the ECU, they're not tunable. You have to go JB4 piggyback, and that's kind of holding them back a little bit. Right now, only the 2020s are really tunable with an ECU tune. So we'll have to wait and see about that. Yeah, I don't think it'll kill the Supra, but it'll definitely pull sales away from it. All said and done, I do think the Supra is the better performance car. I think the B58 is a great engine, and I used to be an Audi guy. I used to love the Nissan GTR. The Supra was like the first time I really ever got introduced to BMW, and I must say that the B58 is insanely good. Honestly, if these sell a lot better, there really won't be a lot of Supras, and they're going to probably be a little bit more rare in the future, so maybe that'll drive the prices up in the future. Next thing we could talk about is the new GR86. I really like that car. I think for the price, for the money, I mean, that thing is awesome. It's going to have manual, rear-wheel drive. But anyway, yeah, I see a lot of hate online after the Nissan Z unveil saying it's going to kill the Supra, it's going to kill the Supra, it's going to kill the Supra. Oh, the BMW Supra this, that. You know, people, I don't think people realize that this car, the BMW B58 engine, is probably the best inline-six turbo engine available. Now, a lot of you want to compare, say, oh, they should have, made their own inline-six and put that in the car. But who knows what the price of the Supra would have been. I think they did a very good job and made a smart decision in getting the BMW B58. And I think that maybe people will start to appreciate that in the future. But anyway, let's not talk about the Supra too much. I can't wait for the new Nissan Z to come out. We'll start seeing them on the street in the spring of 2022 as a 2023 model year. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what they look like in person. Maybe I'll go test drive one if they let me. Yeah, anyway, I can't wait to see them, and thanks for watching the video. I know it was a little bit different today. More Supra mods to come. We have a couple different things going on the car to make more horsepower. I think you guys will be interested in that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Supra content. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys later.